Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are seeing this beautiful face for the first time, my name is Joa Martha. I make lifestyle videos, and I know that's not why you are here. You are here to know all the information you can possibly get on Kano campus, and that is why I'm making this video. If you are watching this video, I know you either got posted to Kano campus or know someone that got posted to Kano campus, or you're just curious to hear what this beautiful girl has to say. So let us jump right into the video. And first and foremost, I just want to say that you have been posted to one of the best campuses of Nigerian law school, not because I went there, but because it actually is one of the best. Okay. Number one thing you should know about Kano campus is that it is one of the best campuses of the law school. It has some of the best set of lecturers. Like just chill. You have Mrs. Effiong, you have Mr. Gambo. See, I promise you, you have Mr. Yusu. I promise you, you are going to enjoy Kano campus. Like if it's in terms of like academics and how sound the lecturers are, and like whether or not they will deliver, I promise you. The thing too that you might be worried about is the language and like the environment and maybe the culture and all of that. I promise you, you have nothing to worry about. Just take it like you're going to like explore and learn, a new language or like experience a new culture. One thing I would say that I experienced is that they're actually kind there. And one thing that shocked me the most in my entire life of being in uni, school, whatever, dealing with public officers, public staff, and all those admin staff, Kano campus has the most polite, the nicest, kindest, warmest admin staff. I'm telling you this. Like, I was so surprised. Like, how are these people so nice, so patient, so understanding? They will not treat you like kids. They will not disrespect you. It's kind of like a peer relationship. Like, give me your respect, I give you your respect. That's another aspect you might be worried about. Be like, oh, like chill, go out to town. You can do that. Although the campus is far from town, I promise you, it's a very good environment for you to be able to concentrate. And then when you want to have fun, you can obviously go with your friends. In terms of food, you definitely find like good food on campus. Although it was a bit rough when we just got there, trying to figure out where to eat. But there's this woman that started cooking about like 2 months before we left, or a month. Madam Nasiru, I highly recommend that. I also recommend Jane's Kitchen. She also makes good food. There are Indomie boys there. Suya is very cheap there. There was also a food spot called The Shack that sell things like stir fry bag, shawarma. Although it was shut down before we left, I don't know if that was temporarily. Hopefully, it will be open by the time you guys are resuming. You're also going to be able to try like food from the north, masa and all those things. They sell it. They have Hausa kitchen. They have Igbo kitchen. You're going to get used to it. The only thing I will say is that if you're someone that likes sweet mouth like me, and like there are certain kinds of like snacks that you like, that maybe like your Maryland biscuit and all those things, get them from home. Although there's a shop that sells some of those things, but you might not get all there, but get them from home. One advice I'm going to give in terms of the weather, because Kano is like always has like extreme weather conditions. It is either very hot or very cold. So we went in November, which was around the cold period, right? So I don't exactly know how January is, but one thing I would advise you to do is get your hose, get your hand gloves, get your very warm clothing like cardigans, sweaters. And when I say cold, it is freezing. Also, if you have like a kind of medical condition and stuff, please go with your medication, and like also package like first aid, maybe your aboniki balm, your tom tom, your inhaler and stuff like that. But you don't want to take chances. I would advise every student to like go with a little bit of emergency medication. I would also advise that you go with a lot of cream. You will need it. You will need it because in the cold, is I don't know how to explain the weather. The weather is harsh. Like in the cold, it's dry, right? So you definitely have to be like constantly be moisturized. Your skin, your face, your hand, and all of that. Like law school is very financially draining. you need money. Another thing that is peculiar to Kano campus is the fact that if you're a girl and you're going to Kano campus, you see those your Chris Bella bags, your Gucci, your Louis Vuitton, your whatever bags those are. Sorry to break it to you, but be leaving them at home. You. So you are not allowed to carry opaque bags, bags that you can't see the inside. So what is allowed for security reasons is also for the safety of students, you understand? You are only allowed to carry a transparent bag. They sell those on campus in case you cannot get your hands on anyone. But if you know you're the fashionable type, you want extreme fashion and all those things, I advise you get your stuff. Accommodation. They have like different hostels in different location. Now it depends on you and what you want. The list in a room is three to a room. I stayed in FHA hostel. I'm going to link a vlog where I showed the hostel in the description box. So that's three to a room. The toilet and bathroom is not inside the room, it's outside the room, which is even better because if you are living with other people, you don't want when they are using the toilet, the smell and all those kind of things. So that was why I went for that. Now, FHA hostel is closer to mommy. In fact, FHA hostel is very close to mommy. See FHA hostel, just walk down and you have mommy there. So yeah, I prefer that because it's close to food and me, I'm a foodie, okay? You also have the new hostels that were built. Those ones are also three to a room, bathroom and toilet and suite. But if you want those hostels, I advise you go on the day of resumption or a day after. Advise on the day of resumption so that your chances of getting that hostel will be higher. And then you have the ones that they have eight in a room and so on and so forth. Like I think same thing applies to guys. You have three to a room, you have four to a room. I think for the guys hostel, they have their bathroom and toilet inside, they have reading table and chairs and all those kind of things. So you also have a common room in FHA, ironing room, reading room, and stuff like that. So one thing I'm going to advise you is that if you want to get a hostel of your choice, of your choosing, I advise you resume very early. They work on first come, first serve basis. Another thing that I liked about Khan campus was the fact that they don't allocate hostels like anyhow randomly. They don't. So if you are going and you have somebody in mind that you want to live with, you and that person can go together and you could be allocated the same room. So you have the choice, like you are at liberty to choose who you live with, to choose your roommates. So maybe you go on the first day, someone you are more friendly with and familiar with, both of you can decide to stay, and then you meet the officer and then they'll put you in the same room. And this is something that I really, really, really admire about them, that I commend is the fact that they know how important and how sensitive being in law school is. So they don't want to like put you in a position where you have to live with somebody you are not on good terms with, or you are not okay with, or you don't want to. Because trust me, who you live with in law school matters. It can ruin you or it can ruin you. It's intense. Law school is intense. That's it. So you need to stay with someone that, or people that will create a healthy environment for you to flourish, for you to be able to rest, for you to be able to read, for you to be able to eat, for you to be able to just exist and do what you came there to do. Trust me, if you're gonna stay with witches and wizards, you're gonna stay with someone that is loud unnecessarily, or someone that has certain kinds of, I don't know, habits, or a dirty person, or you're going to be inconvenienced, you're going to be frustrated, and you don't want. Yeah, FHA is the hostel that is closest to mommy, but it is not close to the class. It is far from class, and there's no on-campus transportation or shuttle, so you have to walk from your hostel to class. So that's the downside. Although you will get used to the distance after some time. When I went there first, I was just like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. Like, this is too far. I'm sure they will provide transportation. I don't know why I was expecting they will come and give me chariots to be going to class. But after some time, I got used to the distance, and yeah. Another thing is, when you go on the first day, you will not be going to those hostels. There are there's a hostel dedicated to temporary accommodation. So when you go on the first day or the second day or the third day, you first be in that temporary accommodation before you are now allocated to your permanent hostel. So the temporary accommodation, to be honest, it was not so nice. And some people end up living there as their permanent accommodation if they come late. Talking a lot. Feels good to be giving advice when I'm out. Your documents that you have, please carry them from home so that you don't have to be doing back and forth, back and forth. Print out everything, photocopy everything so that you don't come to campus and start looking for it to photocopy. It's going to delay you. Trust me, it's going to delay you and like your time of screening. And the more time you spend screening, the more time you spend in temporary accommodation. You don't want that. I will also advise that you wake up very early on the morning of your clearance service screening so that you can get a number that is in front. Oh, my dear brothers and sisters, please snap your passports. Snap your passport. Snap passport, white background, wear your white and black before you go. Passport of 800 naira for many copies. They charge 2000, and for those that came later, 2500 to snap. And when you see the passport, you would not even recognize yourself. Snap your passport, as many copies as possible, your white background, your corporate, so that you don't go there and start spending money unnecessarily. Because the expenses you will make will start from you buying indomie when you just get there to paying 2000 for passport. Before you know, in your first day of stay you spend 5k, 10k. First day oh. So I advise you, anything you can do to cut costs, like making all your photocopies, printing out all your documents, taking your passport, because it will really annoy you when they are telling you to get, because you don't have a choice. Do you want to leave campus to go and snap passports? When you come out of the gate, you look left, you look right, you are seeing a very lonely road. You now start going to town. Town is not close by you. Bagauda is in the middle of nowhere. It's literally a former forest reserve that was converted. So snap your passport. For dressing, girls, it's you're going to the north, it's more like conservative and all of that. When they say the length of your skirt should be below your knee, they are not joking. Below your knee and more. If you want to also the one that reach your ankle, sew it. But our advice is better like you just sew something long below your knee, your gown, your skirts, below your knee, please. Don't don't stress. You end up being stressed. Just do it. Sew it below your knee. You look good. Trust me, you look good, okay? Your hair should not be too long. The first day of class, I had to now roll it up, and it was very inconvenient that the fact that I kept rolling it up and rolling it up. So at the end of the day, I just cut it. So when they say your hair should not be long, they mean like if you are wearing wig, maybe something like you can actually wear long one, but just make sure you roll it up. And for your braids, instead of wasting your money to do into two braids or waist length braids that you are going to be rolling up all the time, you might as well just do into three cutting, 12 inches, 14 inches, and yeah. For your shoes, leather shoe, at some point they started allowing like those glossy look shoes, and you can also wear heels. Heels are allowed as long as they are black and no, not all those designs. But yeah, your black leather shoe can be, healed. But trust me, when you trek from FHA to class, nobody will tell you to put that shoe and go and look for flat shoe to buy. Do not buy your textbooks until they have been recommended, because you might end up buying certain textbooks that have outdated laws that it will not benefit you in any way. So even when they recommend the textbooks, try and check it with the current laws before you buy, because the textbooks are expensive. We're talking 8,000, 7,500 and above. So if you end up spending your money on a textbook that you do not need, that you will never read, not just in law school but outside law school, if you go and buy a textbook with outdated laws, it's your loss. 8,000 naira gone, and 8k, you know what it will do for you in terms of feeding and like other things. So don't be in a hurry to buy textbooks. Wait till they recommend, and even when they recommend, cross check to make sure that the laws are, you know, up to date. Although most times they recommend the ones that are up to date. So Yeah, don't be in a hurry. Even after they recommend, still wait till like maybe the next week for you to buy, because you start seeing maybe new releases and all of that. Materials, Condismith and the like. Condismith is the good one, but be careful of materials. You are going to be overwhelmed with the number of PDF files, materials, easy reads, quick reads, and all those things that are available. Run. Because at the end of the day, some of them will confuse you, twist your head, and leave you even more lost than you were. So I'll advise that if you are going to be using materials in addition to what you're taught in class and your textbooks, your recommended text, please stick to one. Don't read this one today, read down today, read down tomorrow. Don't try to do it all. Just pick. If not, you end up wasting your time. Another very important advice that I would give, that I wish I did, although I did though, but not as early as I should have, be serious from the beginning. You see, lost when they say no time, once you start, you just end up in your exam hall. It's true. You think you have time, you think it's 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away, 2 months away. It is so sudden. Exam will come on you so suddenly, and you see that after extension, just know that you're coming back to school is exam. Things go by so fast. There are so many activities packed, so you will not even have time to calm down to do your personal revision. So I advise that you maximize your extension period to read aggressively. Also, once you resume, I advise that you start reading from day one. Don't say we're still law school lecturers. It's not like university that maybe then you are resuming on the 10th. They will not say no, let's leave this 1 week because we just resume. As you are resuming, if class is supposed to start on Monday, it will start on Monday. If it's only two people there, they will teach the two people. They don't do African man time, they don't do less chill, less, they don't play, they don't joke. And maybe if they teach a topic in class that day, when you go back to the hostel, if you are somebody like me that you like jotting to read, jot your notes. Although it will be almost impossible to be able to jot everything, but if you start like that, you jot every topic for the day, because it's one course per day. You jot the topic they teach you that day. I promise you, you'll be able to, and read it too. It will help you, because when things start going and going and going, it will get overwhelming, because you'll be given tasks that you have to read and learn and all those for the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. So you have to know is that electricals are not allowed, hair straightener, iron, hot kettle, not allowed. You have to like pay in mommy to iron your clothes. But before we left, they provided irons in the ironing room, so that's probably still available. But just stack your money just in case, you understand. Oh, for the toilets, I think I'm not going to talk about that, but go with your Dettol, your disinfectant, your everything. You most likely be using a pool bucket. Skip back to add this point. Please do not take unnecessary trips to town. If what you are going for is not necessary, like I know you want to go to town, go to the mall, have fun. Please limit it. Honestly, like don't do too much for your own safety. You understand? We don't want to hear justice for anybody. We know the current state of the country, even though the school like does their best. But I don't advise you, because once you leave the school compound, obviously you're no longer under their care and all. So I'd advise you to like limit the number of trips you take to town, and also try to go in groups with your friends. Don't just lost out of campus without telling anybody, informing your friend or anybody around you of where you're going, just in case. So yeah. So yeah, I think I've shared enough information. Good luck to you guys. I hope you come out in flying colors. I hope you have please have fun. Trust me, you see that 1 hour that you don't want to use and chaos, just have fun, calm down. And one thing I learned in that law school is not about overreading. Reading definitely pays, spending the time doing the work definitely pays. But if you are just doing it for doing sake, like when you're tired, rest. Like when you're tired, rest. When you feel exhausted, rest. If your head is no longer taking it, rest. One thing I always used to tell myself is you are what matters. Like, you are the one that matters. You're the one that matters. Put yourself first. Put yourself first. If you die, if something happens to you, the program will continue with those that are alive. See, let me tell you, if you go and overdo, you are not used to awoko, you go and kill yourself, do 14 hours awoko, and something happens, God forbid, you fall critically sick. You see that next day, classes will go on. If you even die self, that next day, classes will go on. Nobody, see, it's a moving train. You know the way train moves. You cannot just hold brake and stop it. That's it. It will not stop for you. So you better put your health first, put your mental health first. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Because not everyone that goes in comes out. Like, just know that you can't put yourself first. Put your health, put your well-being. Don't starve yourself. Eat good food. Eat well. Don't starve. Don't overdo. Don't over push. If you notice your body is getting tired and all, treat yourself. Take care of yourself. Eat, rest, and all of that. So yeah, guys, I wish you guys the best in your journey at the Nigerian Law School. If you have any questions for me, you can send me a DM on Instagram at Joamata KM, or leave them in the comments, or on Twitter too at Joamata. I'll be more than glad to answer your questions about being in Kano campus. But overall, I'm going to tell you it is one of the best law school campuses in Nigeria, with the best set of lecturers, most polite admin staff, and yeah. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. See you at the bar. Bye guys.